So welcome back to the channel. Today I'm trying out Le Mans Ultimate version 1.0. I bought this when it came out in early access. Played it for an hour and a half to 2 hours, just messed around with it. Didn't particularly have a good time with it. It kept crashing and other things, and it was kind of still pretty early access. Now the 1.0 is out and I'm trying it again. I've had a couple of practice sessions, so now I'm about to take a Ford Mustang around Spa in a GT3 race. Just 12 minutes. See how we go. Racing gear today is a Moza R9 direct drive wheel with the Moza FSR steering wheel and Moza CRP pedals, and that's attached to a next level racing stand, which I honestly don't recommend because mine bounces around. Can you hear that? It's so wobbly. It's not very good. The positioning of the wheel is not great. It's almost in my chest and I'm stretched out to get to the pedals. So yeah, I'd need a better base to put all this stuff on. Anyway, let's race and see how we go. Alright, so forgive the racing line and assist. I'm a filthy casual. I just do this occasionally for fun. I'm not a sweat, not a competitive guy. I just play single player. Yeah, just race by myself against AI and try and tailor the AI to suit my lack of skills, let's say. So if you're a veteran sim racer, you can choose to stick around and kind of laugh at me if you want. Or if you're also a casual, maybe you can see maybe kind of like what you might expect if you try the game yourself. So here we go, coming up to the start line. I've got my pit limiter on to try and hold this speed easier. So this is Spa, where the F1 just raced the other day. Here we go.
Green flag.
Alright, well I made it hash of corner one already. So I did make an adjustment to the AI by editing a file. They will now make a few more mistakes with their driving than they normally would in single player. Apparently the default game ships with the AI not making mistakes. So I've changed one text file to give them a little bit more of a chance. Also, again with the AI, I forgot to increase their difficulty level from my last practice session. So unless I really screw the pooch horribly here, I will probably end up dominating them. I think I won my last race, even though I was sucking up all over the track. I think I won by 7 seconds. Okay, so initial impressions with Le Mans Ultimate are good, actually. The driving feels really nice. My Moza R9 worked perfectly right out of the box. The only tweaks I had to make were in the car setup to give it the amount of oversteer that I like. Because with this setup, I really like the cars oversteer quite a bit, because it's pretty difficult to swing this wheel around all the way. So the more the car turns with the less amount of movement I put on the wheel, the better for me. So I've got the ABS set up on this Mustang at 1 to try and get the most oversteer out of it possible. With that setting anyway. Back to the game, I really like how it looks. It's a pretty game from the cockpit view anyway. Spa is a beautiful track in real life, and it looks nice in the game as well. I did a replay earlier to get my screenshot, which should hopefully go on the thumbnail. And in that view, I wasn't not quite as impressed with the graphics. But overall, I think it's pretty nice.
Time to 35.54.
My biggest complaint with the game at the moment is that it's in a 1.0 release, yet they didn't include the career mode with that. And since I'm not a multiplayer guy, this is a cardinal sin, basically, to release a supposed 1.0 with no, like, proper single-player mode. Because all we can do is basically these single race weekends, like I'm doing here, and whatever, like, weekly online, I don't know if they have time trials or whatever you can do. Haven't tried that yet. But at the moment, single player is extremely lacking and very disappointing. I think if it had the career mode and the career mode was decent, which we won't know until it comes out, I would recommend it. Because this feels good, looks good. I've had no hardware issues in my practice sessions with the 1.0 version. I haven't had any crashes yet, both on the track and software wise. I'm actually impressed with the Mustang as well. When I chose this, I fully expected to not be able to turn at all. You know, typical American muscle car, it goes fast in a straight line, but it won't turn to save its life. But with this setup, with the oversteer, I'm actually able to get around most of these corners okay. Maybe not fast, but I can get around them. The other car I tried earlier was a Mercedes, and I had a little bit more trouble going around the corners in the Mercedes than this one. And that's the opposite of what I expected. I mean, it was embarrassing watching me go around in the Mercedes earlier. I mean, obviously this isn't stellar driving. Your granny could probably do better going to bingo. But, I mean, it was even worse for that Mercedes in my earlier practices. And this is probably my favorite corner in all the racing. I just love this hill with the stand right there and that blind crest. Like, it's so cool. And the Ardennes forest right there. Oh, I love it. Rest in peace, Antoine Hubert. Usually when I want to sim race, I'll play AMS2, and my complaint about single player extends to AMS2 as well, and that it doesn't even have a career mode yet either. But I use Apex Rivals for my career mode for that and the original Assetto Corsa, and I highly recommend that if you're into single player. You can get Apex Rivals from the creator's Patreon, and there's also a free version available if you just want to try it out. I've got the paid version. I've subscribed to his Patreon several times over the last 2 years. Usually whenever there's a big AMS2 update or DLC, I'll go and I'll also get the updated version of Apex Rivals. I'll probably make a video on that at some point too. But as you can see, I'm absolutely blitzing the AI. That's my bad, chat, because I forgot to increase the difficulty level, so I'm sorry. This is more like watching me do a time trial. I was hoping we'd be in a closer pack with the race and maybe actually see the AI make some mistakes and stuff like that. But that's okay. At least I can talk about my feelings toward the game and things like that.
That time was a 2:33.12.
Alright, so nothing much is happening on track here, obviously. I'm still sliding my way around. No AI in sight. I'm 32 seconds ahead of the next best guy. There we come. Favorite corner. Slight brake. Just enough. Keep it on track. There we go. Alright, I guess I'll talk about the Moza R9 a little bit. If you guys don't have a Moza R9 or anything higher up the ladder, I think this is a great beginner wheel. If you can afford the difference between this one and say like the R5, I would definitely go for this. I usually don't have any problems with it. It works on most games without too much of a hassle. AMS2, occasionally after an update, I always seem to have to redo my controls, but that's an AMS2 problem, not a Moza problem. Well, that's so sloppy. I've got the Moza CRP pedals as well. My biggest complaint with those is the brake. Man, you gotta really put a lot of pressure on this brake. And I'm using the lightest spring on there. I didn't put the upgraded heavier spring in. And man, it takes a lot of, muscle to get that down all the way. So I actually have mine set up where the maximum pressure is probably only about halfway down the pedal range. Just so I don't have to strain so hard to stop. But other than that, I think they're really good pedals. Really strong, really tough. Yeah, way better than, say, any of the standard pedals that come with like the cheap Logitech and Thrustmaster wheels. But you kind of get what you pay for really there, Spend hundreds on just the pedals compared to a few hundred for a whole set of wheel and pedals.
Time 2:34.94.
So this should be our last lap to Marine Spa, and wow, okay, really screwed that one up. And I accidentally hit my pit limiter. So I guess it's a good thing we aren't too close to the AI then. And speaking about my next level racing stand, it's actually shifted since that little mistake. So my wheel is a little bit off center now. There we go. If I had a bigger house and a bit more money, I could have invested maybe in a better, sim, racing, and flight cockpit. This room I'm in right now is pretty small, and I just don't have the space to leave a rig set up. So every time I want to play something, I gotta muscle this next level racing stand into place. And I'd hate to have to do that with a bigger, sim rig. It's probably just as well, because I don't really do this enough to really justify spending any more money on it. I've spent way more money already than probably what I should have. Especially for somebody with the lack of sim racing skills that I have. I've got overkill equipment for my skill level. If any of you guys are into photography, I'm like that photographer that shows up with $15,000 worth of camera gear and only uses the automatic modes. So I've got, a lot of the assist on, like auto shift, traction control, stability control, all that good stuff. And of course the driving line. That's the most obvious one here. I just don't race enough to learn these tracks properly and all that. And there we go. Just absolutely destroyed him, like 46 seconds in front. So, yeah, first impressions, Le Mans Ultimate, pretty good. It's just lacking in single player. And it's kind of disgusting how much DLC they have out even before the 1.0 released or the career mode came out. So I don't own any of the DLCs. If they want to send them to me to have me try them out, I'd accept. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. See you in the next video.